what kind of challenges does a guy like Walker Kessler pose? He's been playing really well, especially on the defensive end lately.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's protecting the rim at an elite level. I think you have to go in there with the plan against like most teams in our league that have rim protection, but he's doing it at an elite level. They're really pressuring on the perimeter because they know they have that type of support behind them. I think we got some guys again with Liam, maybe an opportunity that where he has to come out a little bit more to defend him on the perimeter. So it's just that has to be a focus for us, making sure that he's not able to just sit back there and clog things up. But we still got to drive the basketball. I think there's going to be opportunities for some kickouts and some drop offs around the basket. But we definitely have to go in there, not with a plan. Playing off of 2 feet and with poise as opposed to just going in there and launching, because that's playing to his advantage.
Hi, Terry, you go ahead.
Yeah, do you want to maybe just like write a couple bullets?
Hey, Coach, I guess my question is this. I'm working on a story on Scotty Pippen Jr. and how much has his game changed over the course of the 3 years that he's been there? And if this is indeed his final go around with you guys, how in the world do you try to replace all that he's meant to the program?
Oh, no, I mean, Scotty's developed at an unbelievable, rate. I thought he's gotten better every year. I mean, he started out as, we had Saban Lee and Aaron Neesmith for, the early part of his freshman season. And then things kind of changed when Aaron went out and he had to become more of a scorer there. But he was a, facilitator. He gotten so much stronger. We was looking at just some old footage of just how much he's just matured, just from a facial hair and, just his body from the weight room and all that type of thing. But no, he's just gotten better. He's been a sponge, man. He still has a lot of room to grow. I think that's a good thing about Scotty. He's still really just scratching the surface of what I think he can become as a basketball player. He just has a great feel, a great knack of great footwork, for a guard, in the paint. I mean, that really helps him draw fouls and do different things for us. But no, I just think with basketball in general and players, no matter what level, high school, college, pros, they're all fungible assets. You're gonna have to replace them at some point, and there's gonna be the next guy that's coming in and gonna bring some intangible that's maybe that Scotty has is similar, or going to bring a dynamic that's totally different. That will, every team is built differently, and when you kind of go in each season and look at your personnel and look at their strengths and weaknesses, But I mean, yeah, he's, when you look at his production and his usage, you think it'd be, really tough for us to replace, but I'm pretty sure we'll find a way.
Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, as you keep adding pieces like Rodney and Liam and get healthier, are you seeing the continuity of the offense kind of, growing,
Well, no, I mean, the continuity is really coming from the guys that's been playing. Rodney helps that a lot because he's a ball handler. Liam hadn't played basketball in a year, and so, I mean, it's good to just have his size and his rim protection for a few minutes to spell Q, but Q is really, has taken that starting role and been, more than what we could have imagined, him to be coming into the season. I just think he's gotten better and better, and it's really tough for us not to have him on the floor. So, but no, I think as Liam continues to get back into the field of playing basketball and having a better feel for what we're doing. You can look at film, you can be in practices all you want, but there's nothing like the being out there in a game. And I think that's where we just got to continue to just kind of live with some of his growing mistakes, growing pains and mistakes that he make early on, because we know as the season goes on, we still got time for him to bring some real value to what we're trying to do.
Hey, Aria, go ahead.
What kind of opportunity does it bring to you guys to be playing, at the number 2 right now team in the country in Auburn?
I think for us, I mean, it's just about, possession, our possession. Obviously, it'd be a great win for us if we could come in and, I don't think, probably most people wouldn't have us penciled in to win this game with where they are and playing, in the jungle. I don't think they lost down there this year. So it's just, this is a great, big opportunity for us. I mean, but we feel like we've gone into some places that, no other team has won in the SEC before. We went down to Arkansas and got it done, and had nobody beat them, since down there. So I think we feel like our defense travels, if we're able to take care of the ball and rebound the basketball. I think that's, those are things that gets us in trouble in our losses. As you know, when we allow teams to get back and, get easy points in transition, and that was kind of the difference in the game against Tennessee. They got 21 points, in the first half. 23 points or whatever in the first half from second chance opportunities and in transition, and points off of turnovers. We only gave them 8 in the second half, and the game was in the balance and gave us the opportunity to win. So we like our chances when we're able to get back and get our defense set and able to lock into a team's, game plan with our schemes and different things like that. But it's so much harder with live ball turnovers when they're able to get ahead of you and get opportunities without us getting that set.
Justin, got another?
Yeah, Coach, in terms of the bench rotation, it seems like Taryn Franks kind of stepped into a few more minutes of late. First, kind of what's gone into that in terms of what you've seen from him? And then have you seen what you need for that trend to continue, or will that kind of be a fluid position for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of with those guys, it's who's playing well, playing hard. It's not a big difference. A lot of parity on our, on our roster. I look at from kind of 7 through, 13. And I think, it just depends on who's coming in and bringing them, because all of them, really have a good idea of what they need to do on the defensive end. I think Taryn Frank is, he's a really good defender. I mean, in some of the drop coverages that we want to play, his ability to guard his man individually, those are things that stood out, this week. Taryn's been playing out of position. I mean, it's kind of been unfair to him. So he hadn't had kind of the reps at the 4, which is, kind of his natural position. I think he's kind of a 4-3. As he continues to get better, he can, trend to being more of a 3, as he continued to grow his game. But with Liam being out and not really having a backup, we kind of had to play, him and Jermaine. He's got he knows the 5 now, and he's not a 5-man. So, now that we're kind of, got Liam in that role and that backup, it kind of throws a little bit of a log jam with deciding what we're going to do behind Miles with Jermaine and T. Frank. So it kind of, behooves them to come in and work hard and earn those minutes every day in practice, to kind of figure out who's going to get those minutes. But he had a great week of practice. And I thought he did some good things on the defensive end again in the Tennessee game. Made a shot. Had a shot there in the second half. I think they closed out on him a little, really hard. We talked about those things. Being able to use his sidestep on me because he has the ability to drive it a little bit too. And I think, Liam took a rush shot there. Taryn Frank took a rush shot there. I think Rodney had a floater that went over the basket. It was pretty ugly stretch of basketball there for, with 3 air balls in a row. But, it happens. And those are just kind of the things that you live with as, you get guys that haven't really, been in the field. But again, we're thinking about down the stretch and, the tournament, that we got to get those guys ready. So you live with some of those tough moments.
All right, Coach. That's it. We appreciate you.
Okay, man. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, everyone.